Hi there. Thanks for coming back for the second video. In this video I'm going to deal with the third tab in the software, Reports. This is one of the things that makes the design of the integrator so powerful, that we've separated the workspace where you create information from the space where you report on it. The thing is that people who create information need lists with totals to check that things balance. But single managers, for example, may need a very diverse view of the elements, which don't necessarily add up in a row. So let's press Create New Reports now and make a new report. What comes up is the New Report screen. And the first thing we do is give the report a name. Here I'm calling it Demo Report. Now there's a blank area and below it is a standard element tree which we had in the last video. As usual, I can navigate the tree and the months just like before. So when I make a new report, all the elements in the tree are available to me and they all act the same way. Now imagine I'm the GM of this group of hotels and I don't want to spend too much time diagnosing problems. So I'll start with occupancy. I'm going to take my occupied room sold and I'm going to drag it onto the canvas. Then on the right hand side of the canvas, it says percentage of element. And if I drag up the rooms available into the right hand percentage, it will give me the left hand element as a percentage of the right hand element. So I'm going to make it a percentage of my rooms available to get my occupancy. Next I'll take my payroll. And I don't want to display it as a negative number as it comes out of the accounting system, so I'll invert it. And I want to see payroll as a percentage of total revenue. Then I'm going to take food cost into the canvas. And food cost I want to see as a percentage of the food income. I'll take up the total expenses and I'll have them as a percentage of total revenue as well. Now obviously I can go on and put as many elements as I like. I can put on gross operating profit and get that as a percentage of total revenue as well. And then I'm going to take up the occupancy percentage as well. So we have a very short review here of some very key factors. The columns along the top give us some further display options for the report. I can view last month, the last year, budget, year to date, last year to date, and budget to date. I don't have budgets in here, so I'll leave those out for now and just save this report. So a new line comes up on the list of reports with the name I've given it. But if you look, the list of reports is actually a table with 5 columns on it. The first column is labeled Norm. And that's the normal report we've specified and that we'd expect to get. So to view it, I click on the third button, Excel Preview Format Report, and a fairly ugly report comes out. I have a blank row and a blank column in case I want to add some extra headers. And I'm going to take a moment now to format it a bit. Luckily this is stuff we all know how to do. And even more luckily you only have to do this once. If I save it after I've formatted it and go back into the integrator and choose December last year instead of this month, then the system will write to the same cells in the spreadsheet I've formatted. You can also add your own calculations and graphs with no problem. As you can see, there's quite a bit for the manager to work with here. Payroll has come down from 34% of turnover to 22%, which is good news, and may well account for the rise in profits. Now, going back to the integrator, there's the matter of the 4 additional columns. The 4 additional columns are 4 extra reports which the integrator makes for you with no extra effort. The second column is called ANN12, which is an annualized set of the same elements across the 12 months of the year. So remembering that we're still in December of the previous year, I click Excel Preview and presto, up comes the report. It's been formatted already to save us a bit of time. I'm going to add an Excel calculation here and take the payroll as a percentage of total expenses of the year, just to show you that this can be done with no problems. The purpose of the third column in the integrator is to allow us to graph up to 2 years in a go. It goes back to the beginning of the previous year and lays the numbers out for us. So now I can get a 2-year graph of gross operating profit. When I realize that I forgot to switch back to this year, no problem. I go back to the integrator, click on the month clicker and push view again, and the sheet is updated. The fourth column in the integrator is a quarterly report, which I won't show you now. And the fifth is very nifty. If I'm in January, it will give me all the Januaries in the history of the system lined up. This is great for removing seasonality and removing excuses from staff. Once your reports are created, you go into the last tab, which has a recipient list. You can put in all your staff and their email addresses or a file location. Then you go to the next step and decide for each one of them which reports they should get. So you don't send everyone everything. Each person gets a targeted set of reports. Once you've balanced your numbers, you click the Publish button and leave the computer for a while. It will compile a multi-page Excel spreadsheet for each recipient with your formatting and graphs, etc., and send it to them either by email or to their file location. Couldn't be simpler. Thanks for taking the time to watch.